Okay, audio check. 1, 2, 3. Sounds good. So, I guess we can get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream of the Discourager of Hesitancy. We are building a game with no game engine from scratch with minimal dependencies. Here's our to-do list. Ooh. Yeah, so not too bad. Everything's looking good. The music player is coming along nicely. The to-do list. I did some things last night while you were all sleeping. I have created the new Steam account for the business. It will take between 2 and 7 days to verify all of my information, but that ball is rolling. As part of that, I also made a business email, and I made a business YouTube channel. So that's done. We have some branding work to do, of course, but that's fine. So this one is pending tax info verification. So making good progress there. So hopefully I get that done pretty quick, and then I can start the Steam integration work, which will be good. Now, the other thing I did last night was looking at the linking of this stuff. Last time I was able to get the libgcc working, but not this one. So the lib standard C++ was not linking because it caused a duplicate definition of the same symbol. So I went through my makefile and I found this little guy, LGCCS. That lib I've taken out of the build. That goes away. And that made it so that both of these now compile fine. And I no longer require these two DLLs in my runtime. So we're down to WinPthread and SSP, which I'll try working on tomorrow. Hey, Pat, you're in early. How you doing, dude? Oh, so just a couple more linking issues before everything is statically linked. We're doing good work there. Eliminate runtime DLLs. I do want to play with this idea, but not today. It's in the old discarded file. No standard lib. No C, G, no standard C lib. Compile flag. That would be wonderful. So, what else we got here? Word Sleuth logo. That's something we may do today, depending. Some actions have sounds, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Trying to get a hold of my uncle at the moment. Yeah. Family. Always something about family. Okay, how are your AI projects going? Your scripting language and your Wordle game. I haven't heard about those in a little while. Or is job hunting and other life things got you too busy. Life has a way of doing that. Like, just gets in the way of working on cool projects. Like, yeah, other stuff. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Well, it's also just better to be busy than idle, right? My problem is I have so many things I want to be busy with, and they aren't the ones that get prioritized. I haven't messed with the world game at all, but I still messed with the AI interpreter. Yeah, that sounds like the more interesting project, anyways. Pretty cool. It's a bit bloated. Yeah, AI will do that. It doesn't. Yeah, yeah. It's just not intelligent enough to write things intelligently. It just copies what it has seen. Okay. Now, where we are at. Just wrapping up the music player. Basically move the items from last week, or yesterday up to here. So the shuffle isn't quite right. It's very close. We need to fade out the song when we leave the scene and have the scene wait. Then this per scene playlists and overriding playlist quality playlists, that's going to be not too bad. Thought about having it rewritten in C instead of C++. He had approaches things without certain capabilities. Yeah. I think that was one of the things I noticed with the snippets you'd sent to me was I was very excited to use a lot of templating and generics, and I saw a lot of std-any all over the place and class inheritance models that didn't make any sense. Maybe that would be better. Maybe if you limited the AI to just C. Because a lot of its template usage was frankly inappropriate. Like it was templating things that didn't need to be templated. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what kind of code it cranks out with C. That could be interesting. Okay. All right, so shuffling playlists. I can get rid of that linked file there. My dependencies, because we got rid of it. So happy day. I love removing external dependencies. Now, shuffling playlists. We only shuffle if there's more than two things. So here's the deal. I guess it doesn't matter. If we have two things, the first time we play through could be in either order. Then the second time we play through, it has to remain the same order, because the last song can't be the next song played. And this undoes that. But the overhead of doing that, in the worst case, you swap once, then you swap it back. It's not that important. But this shuffle, shuffle so many things. Entry count. I hate that kind of coding with the overused templates just because it could. Just because you can do a fancy way does not mean it's correct. That's right. You start with the simplest thing, and then you add complexity to it as you go. It's an incremental thing, as needed. Complexity for complexity's sake is not good. Complexity to deal with a complex problem is acceptable if it's properly documented. I just want to see what it's doing. Index and J. Add first song swap. Okay. Let's just see what we get. So I have to do a full clean and debug build. I was doing testing on the linker stuff yesterday. Nobody wants to sit and watch me work out linking dependencies for static linking. I used to code like that as a kid. I would find the most advanced way of doing things and then later realized I was adding complexity to simple problems that would break things worse later. Yep. And there's two reasons for that, I think. One, as a programmer, it makes you feel smart to use the latest, coolest, neatest technique that's the most obscure thing, right? It does feel smart. The other reason is what I call premature abstraction. The other one is, well, everybody's going to use my library, so I should be able to handle all these types. And what if they want to do it this way? And what if they want to do it that way? And what if they want to do it this way? And what you realize is nobody's using your library. Write it your way, write it for you, and write it one way. If you need to add alternatives later, it's not like you have any trouble thinking of alternatives or more ways to add little pieces of abstraction. So when you're like, we need to sort everything all the time, it's like, no, just start with a bubble sort. And if your data set gets large, if you know your data set's large, then you do something more complicated. But yeah, people overcomplicate because they're pre-designing way too much. Yep. Fun times. But yeah, I'd be curious to see what you do when you hamstring it with C. That might be a lot better. Build now takes a while, so we don't want to do this too often. So I was signing up for the Steam developer. Speaking of overly complicated, I'm signing up for the Steam developer stuff, and there's this section on the first page before you head into the some things. And I got through the page fine the first time through, right? Didn't have a problem. I got stuck later on a tax information page, and I fought that stupid page trying to get it to let me submit the form over and over again. It took me forever. And then I finally was like, fine, I'll just reset and start over from scratch. And I went back to that first page, and it would not let me go past. So there's a button at the top that says, hey, do you agree that we'll give your certain of your information to this other group to verify your tax information, right? You have to consent. So there's a button that says consent, yes or no, right? So I click yes, And then because that's at the top of the form, I went my work my way all the way down the form, and then hit submit, and it would not go forward. And it took me almost an hour to figure out what you have to do. Speaking of overcomplicated early crap, is I have to fill out the entire form except the consent checkbox, then click submit, then it pops up an error saying I have to click submit, then I click submit, click consent, then click submit one more time. That's the only way past that page. So that one took me like an hour to find the right recipe of clicks to get there. Then I got past that finally. I get all the way back to the tax info information page, and it won't work either. I still can't get past that submit. Like I tried different browsers, clearing cache, incognito mode, all the usual tricks. And I finally got back to that page, and it wouldn't let me go. And I cannot understand why. I followed all the instructions. I checked. There's a list of checkboxes to say, I acknowledge this, 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 and this. You have to click them in the same order, in the right order, right? But they told me that, so I did. And I type in my name, then I type in my email address. And the submit button will not go. Okay? And so I look, and it's like, well, your email has to match the old email. I tried all sorts of things with that page. I tried hitting submit, so it would pop up the error messages, then addressing the error messages. But the error messages wouldn't go away, so I'd have to go reload the page and load it up all again. It finally turned out what was happening was I was typing my email address with capital letters, which an email address ignores capitals. It basically should lower them all. But they weren't doing that on their form validation. So they were comparing an upcased email address to a downcased email address they were getting off the server, even though I type it the same way in both places. Because in one case, they actually treated it correctly and lowercased it everywhere, but not the value inside the form. So they wouldn't agree. So I had to downcase my email address, even though I entered it the same way in every form on the form, before it finally let me submit. It took me 2 hours to fill out a stupid tax form. I'm so, ugh. Yeah, Steam doesn't have the brightest front-end devs. Yeah, apparently. Or they don't use their own page. Like, is there not like a test bed? Valve, yeah, exactly. Valve, Steam, we know what they're talking about. Yeah, 2 hours to fill out a tax form. What a waste. I like to think I'm a reasonably intelligent fellow. Like, maybe I'm not a genius or nothing, but like, I'm not stupid. And I can't figure out how to get past your tax form. Sheesh, I have to reverse engineer what you're thinking as a developer. And even then, I still don't get it. Like, ugh, anyway, whatever. So all we want to really see is the shuffle. Shuffle 1, but it does nothing. Oh, I know why. Because for my other testing, I was testing something else, so I just wanted something rapid. I put in the one element playlist. So we want the 3-element playlist. That's the one we were having troubles with yesterday. You're pretty smart, lol. Yeah, I think I'm probably above average, but then I look around at the average and I'm not thinking that's necessarily much of a compliment. I think what I've got is the ability to grind on a problem until I figure it out. I think people want to know the answers up front, whereas I'm like, I like the grind. I would probably be really, really, really addicted to like those gotcha games, the grind. If I got into those, I'd grind them hard. Okay. It says shuffle, but it didn't do anything. So it is giving me a call. If my entry count is greater than 1, which it is, because I just printed out 3. Entry count minus 2, which is 3, so index has to be less than 1. So J is between 0 and 0. So it doesn't swap, then it increments the index to 1. Next is inclusive. So it can't be up to entry count. Oh, it's this. It's this. This is the problem. Okay. Because we copied the code out of Wikipedia, it does not do. It wrote the code basically like this in pseudocode where it's not clear. When what we do is this lesser than, so it has to be -1. I think that's the issue. I'll bet this just works now. I'll bet it's an off by 1 error. Swap 0 with 1. Okay. And it should, maybe it starts with the same one. Doesn't change anything. It's never swapping with 2. So maybe this one is not inclusive. J. Let's see. I need to look this Wikipedia page up again. It's not clear to me. And that doesn't make any sense. Okay. So here's the code we basically started with here. Now, it doesn't tell you that that's inclusive or exclusive, so that doesn't help. Such that I is between I less than or equal to, which I next does, but less than n. So if we have like 2 and 4, let's just say that for an example, I would get 2 or 3, because the difference between 4 and 2 is 2. So it'd be 0 or 1 or 2 plus 2 would put me up at 4. So this has to be this. Right? It just has to be. In theory. Ugh. So if there's 3 elements, 0, 1, 1 is less than 2. I should see 0 and 1. There are 3 elements. Less than 3 minus 1 is 2. Nope. I guess it only does flip the first element. Yeah, I was afraid of that. So it should go 0, then 1. I think it's between 4 and 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. So it'd be 0, 1, 2. That's 1. Okay. 0 with 2. Okay. So if we load a longer playlist in, like the sad piano, so the next algorithm is not inclusive on the upper range. I think that's the moral of the story. Yeah, we got some different swaps, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Okay, whatever. So that fixes the sort. 2 elements. Let's make sure it works with 2 elements. It shouldn't. It maybe flop them, but then every loop after that should, if it happens to flop them, it should flop them back. You should never get the same song twice in a row. So shuffle did nothing. I don't remember how long these songs are. Running them at quad speed shouldn't take too long though. Sounds a lot less epic when it's chipmunked, huh? They're using the same underlying. Like baseline. Aha! It blew up. Shoot. Expression low less than high uniform RNG line 34. Shuffle did not swap anything. Shuffle did not swap anything. So with two elements, it never flops them. Make a hotkey that executes the shuffle command. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of achieved that with going back to the main screen, but if it's two items, index 0 and index 1, less than index between 0 and 1, which is 2, yep, 0 and 2. All right, let's go look at uniform RNG next. Okay, so this removes bias. Then you take the modulus. High minus low. Okay, so if we get two values that are the same, that won't work. If low equals high, return. You can't get a random number between the same number. I think that's been part of the problem. Yeah, maybe a button press would be easier for reshuffle. We can also make button presses for things like advanced song and so forth. Shuffle 2. Shuffle 2, it did swap. Okay. Okay. Let's add some buttons. Music player. Void stop. Shuffle. Next. Or, yeah. Sure. Okay, stop. Okay. Not too bad. Shuffle, we stop. Playlist. Shuffle. Then the update cycle should just fix that itself, I think. Next. Next. Next actually gets a little bit more complicated because we're doing crossfading. Well, let's just see what happens with just the shuffle, which means we go to sandbox. Update. I always like the space bar, I don't know why. Easy to press, I guess. Sound one, okay. The update cycle should just work. Oh, it's playing. DJ. Okay. All right. Okay. So what we're getting is it's shuffling it while it's shuffling in place, which is all good and fun. So the question is, sound one, if someone is playing, question mark, with underscore sound one dot, or no, asset one, otherwise underscore asset two, to force it to not repeat the song that was just playing. Sound one doesn't exist. Oh. This was the music player shuffle. Alright, sound warehouse, asset. Sound 2 is not playing. Okay, so sound 2 is playing. And the last asset equals asset number 2. If they're both playing, we have to see which one is on the start and which one is on the end. 2, 3, well, let's just rely on not. Not hitting it in the first or last 5 seconds. I think that's a reasonable requirement for now, for testing. Hey, AK Elements, how are you doing? Just finish up your stream? Saw you were live earlier. How are things going on the materials editor? Good, good. Okay. So we shuffled a 2-song playlist and it didn't flop anything. Then we said shuffle and it says, well, the song I'm playing, I don't want to play now again. So we're going to swap the first to the last, we'll play something different. So that worked. And with the 2-song playlist, it's always going to do this. Whatever the current song is, it will just move it off the front of the playlist. Okay. So I think that's all correct. Let's go back to Sandbox. And get a different playlist. The 2-element playlist is not that interesting. Just make sure this is doing shuffles that look reasonable. It's getting there, slow progress, because I did not have much time to stream because of work. Yeah, actually today's going to be a short stream too. I got to bounce at 3 to go to a dentist appointment. So I know how that goes. I actually don't like short streams. Like, it's so interrupted and hard to get momentum going. So shuffle 4 elements, do some swaps, reshuffle, reshuffle. It's not really, but it's never playing the same song after a reshuffle, so that's good. There's a, yeah. So these look like reasonable shuffles. Cool. I think we're gonna call that task done. Oh, it's getting there, slow progress. Yep. Yeah. Well, let's see here. So we did that. I think what we want to do is we're going to put our music into the scene. I need a playlist thing. And we'll implement that. Okay. Yeah, so we've been making some progress over here. We're loading into the sandbox, but the main game's had a bit of a facelift. Lots more animations and sounds added in, so we're kind of in the cleaning up phase. The art needs to be redone with something less than, solid colors. Bit of, bug fixing here and there, but yeah, our list is getting short. We're going to starting to look at, Steam accounts. I've started creating a Steam account. Got to wait for the tax validation come in. our list of tasks to do is greatly reduced, much diminished. Not getting good clues here. EAD has 2, so L and C are out. O or S has 1. D, E, A, so R and M are out. Yeah, game's looking much better. So we can actually go like do replays now. So we can replay the last game or go to high scores and watch one. Time control, we can watch it quarter speed or half speed. High scores are implemented. I guess we only have sprints, so I cheated on several, but one was a legit run. I don't think I have any golf scores. No. You can watch the replay for anyone. Pretty fun. We've made some good progress. The replay, yeah, I figure if you're gonna learn how to, if you want to optimize your play, watching your own plays back might be handy. How do you store that? Per frame data? No, per event data. So here, I'll let you see. Let's see here. Go to probably game scene is the best place. Everywhere where the user has a thing they can do, like here's a button click, right? In the callback, it's just add an event, right? Every event then has an operational code. And if we're in, it'll add a byte to the replay and then do the action. So if we're in playback mode, so the replay loads everything in, validates it all. So here's all the opcodes and their printouts. There's a bunch of, CRCs and whatnot to make sure it all fits. And then it's a valid, we have spent a lot of time on validation, making sure it's a valid playback. Then when you're running it, it's just a timer. So update. If we're in playback mode, we just walk through the events at the current timestamp and send those events to the callback. Game scene has its own callback, which is calls that event. Let's see here. I think it's this one, process event. So when replay is grinding away, it's calling this thing and says, here's an opcode and here's positional information. And then this calls add event instead of the user inputs. We block user inputs when it's in playback mode and add the events from here. That's basically it. It's not too complicated. Quite clean. Yeah. So it's basically like a little Turing machine inside of replay. No branching though or loops, but it just walks the read head forward, fires off each event opcode in a small number of arguments, and it seems to work mostly. So that was kind of a fun little feature to develop. It yeah, this is not like a physics-based game, so there's no collision detection, collision resolution, no nothing like that we'd have to process in the replay. So everything can be strictly event-driven based on user inputs, basically. Yeah, kind of a fun little thing. Yeah, we're looking down the end of the list here, right? Logo, we've got like 90 words I need to decide whether to leave in or not. Clean up some sounds. Yeah, mostly it's art and songs at this point. I'm down to 2 DLLs. I've got everything else statically linked. I only need these 2 runtime DLLs to get statically linked, so that's close. I've started the Steam developer signup, just waiting on tax verification. Yeah, we're getting close. We might get this released out this year. That would be nice. Do links work here? This game has a cool debugger. Oh, okay, all right. Taking a look. All right, let's see. Graph, idle runtime, okay. Okay. Render segment box carpet. Oh. Okay. Incremental render, that's kind of cool. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Let's see. Instrumented profiler. Yep. Good profilers are nice. Oh. Oh, yeah. Well, that's interesting. That, yeah, it's... And you can debug backwards, which is a thing I've wanted in a debugger forever, because your problem, almost every bug I run into these days, is it blows up. But the problem happened upstream. Like, we're just seeing something downstream where the issue occurred blowing up. So if I can go from this is going to blow up and then walk backwards, oh, that would be so nice. Okay, that video deserves a replay. I'm gonna be watching that a lot closer after the stream. That's kind of cool. So many things to do, right? So many projects, so many cool gadgets and toys we got to all build. My document file of projects to work on is growing faster than I can knock things off of it. But that looks cool. I saw a cool demo the other, when was it? It was years ago, but they were doing a level design in like a Mario platformer kind of game. But he was like changing the variables real time as far as like jump heights, and then he was moving the block, and it was looping user inputs and showing where he would land or miss the jump, and you could move that block in real time while it was looping over your input. Like you'd record an input loop, and he'd do the jump, and then he would start changing variables in this game while it's running and looping over this input, and keep moving the block until he found just the right place for the perfect jump to land it. Which I thought was kind of a cool little feature. Yeah, runtime hot loading is interesting, but I find the number of times it works well with code is not great. Like hot loading assets is one thing. It seems to work pretty good. But as soon as you start hot loading code, it gets messy. But the fact that, yeah, I saw that, and his debugger doing the partial updates on the draw while you're stepping through it. That was cool. I hate to think how much work it took to get that all working. That's a cool project. Super cool. Nice. So what do you do when you're not working on Onyx? Onyx, right? I do think they have a script engine start from there. Yeah. Yeah, but even separating it out into its own scripting engine, you still have to have the runtime for that script interpreting environment. What about free time or at work? Yeah, both. I mean, I'm just interested in projects other people are working on. Like I've seen your Onyx engine; it's pretty cool. There's some awesome stuff there. I'm wondering if you even have free time. I see you streaming often enough. Everybody's got to have a little side project. You can't just grind away on one project forever. Everybody needs a break, a palate cleanser. Mostly work and streaming currently. Sounds like good work-life balance. Work can't really say, but a project for IOI. Okay. Yeah, I know. Not everybody can talk about their work. That's fine. Hello again, JTL. You get your trailer delivered. You're back. IOI. Is that an acronym I should be familiar with? Korean Girl Group. There you go. Thank you, search engine. Egypt International Ocean Institute. That sounds more International Olympiad in Informatics. So many options. Oh, the Hitman series. Oh, okay. Cool, cool. I would not mind getting my foot into the game world, but I'm not sure I would want to do it through. Okay. So here you go. Let's do this. Let's do a reverse question and answer. Usually the streamer's doing the answering, right? What's it like working on a real game? I'm not saying like details. I'm saying like just the general feel and flow. I've never been in the games industry. I've done immersive training simulators, which some might argue have some overlap, but it's not the same industry at all. Like what's the industry like? I've heard horror stories about, crunch time going on for years, overmanaged, understaffed, overstaffed, undermanaged. There's so many stories out there. I'm wondering what it's like working on the Hitman series or any other project. I think if I was to do game development, it'd be as an indie dev. I don't know if I would. I've done time in large, structured, bureaucratic companies. I don't want to do that again. Really depends. There is crunch. Not working too long in Hitman yet, so can't say. Okay. Hitman was kind of an interesting game back in the day. I haven't played any of the recent ones, but that was some pretty hot tech back then. There was crunch back at Ubisoft. Yeah, yeah, Ubisoft had a couple of flops lately, haven't they? But honestly, like the hardest programming happens in game companies. Probably more on the engine side. So are you on the engine side or the gameplay side? I guess I can ask that. That's not revealing information. I know you have NDAs and stuff, but that shouldn't be secret. So I know you're building an engine, but that doesn't mean that your day job is engine or QA. I guess QA. There's a lot of automated testing and things. I don't know what you do. Ubisoft 5 years gameplay, 2.5 years engine. Okay. So you have quite a few years in the industry. Okay. Programming. Yes, exactly. Slightly different skill sets, but it's still just programming. Learn the API, use it since 2011. Nice. In games. That's quite a while. So, is it worth it? I love games. I love programming. I like programming games. I don't know if I want to be in the industry under a big company. Is that worth it? I think the fastest way to learn is to get thrown in on the deep end and have a lot of experienced developers, helping you get through the learning portions. But getting in is hard, especially as expensive as I've become. Oh, well, feel free to regale us with tales of development nightmares or great, joyous, wonderful victories. Mine are mostly related to. I've mostly done desktop application stuff. I don't know how I never got into the game industry. Is it worth it? Money wise, I'd say no, you're better in other industries. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. But I enjoy working on games. Well, I've seen you code. You're pretty good. If I ever get my game studio to make money, I would consider dropping you a line. There's a few people I think are good enough programmers that I'd be like, you know what, drag them in. But again, I have another problem where all I know is programming. Like I don't know art or sound. So I actually don't need that many programmers for most of my ideas, I think. I need more artists. They're not exactly cheap either. I have an old friend from back in the day. We worked together at a couple of different places, and that guy was a very, very good programmer. I would pull him in a heartbeat if I could afford him. So, protected. Music player. Every scene now will have a music player. It's up to the scene to figure out its playlist. Let's go do something playlist related. Music library. Init music test. So here are some. Oh no, music library. I don't want to do it this way. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. Playlist thing. But yeah, with 7.5 years experience, gameplay and engines, that would be valuable. Comps playlist star get playlist. We need a way to look this up. Putting on class. So what do we have here? We have rock, piano, epic, synthwave. I guess we've got 4 playlists to play with. This is not our final music at all. This is just placeholder royalty-free music while we develop it. I have my sister. She is so musically talented. It's makes me sad how much of my life I've wasted, right? I look at what other people have accomplished and I'm like, man, how old am I and why have I accomplished nothing with my life? That's not true, but you know, it's kind of the vibe. But she'll be doing our music for us probably starting next week. Um, Playlist. Rock, piano. This is not like a high performance thing, so we're not going to think too hard about this. And I don't care if they're a bit hard coded. We're going to redo all this anyways. We could do this with like config files or something. Synthwave. Oh. One thing we may want to do also eventually is combine playlists. Like maybe on a holiday we don't want to necessarily overwrite the entire playlist from the standard thing. We'll just add to it with Christmas songs. We'll play with the idea. We just need to get something up and running first. The other thing we need is initialize. Which you can sort of steal from here. Make music test. Playlist piano. Playlist epic. Playlist synthwave. Then last but not least. Oh wait, no, those are pointers. We can keep that way. Okay. It's not the music library. Edit tar make file. Oh, let's see here. We did the song playlist, music player, music library. Slash and build scene. Music library. Let's make sure nothing's broken. I didn't put my includes in. Wow, good heavens. Okay. Playlist. This needs a sound warehouse. What else? Oh. We should qualify our stuff here. It's music library asset. Oh. Needs 3, needs 5, needs 2, needs 1. That's correct. That is not a pointer. Oh, too busy talking on the focus on the code. Okay. Application, we're going to stop loading the sandbox. Oh, let's see, tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow is compiler day. That's nice. I like compiler day. We're doing a permutations thing where we're building with lots and lots of different permutations. I have to be able to test them all. We got a good start on it last week, but still more work to do. So nothing should break. There's nothing to shuffle, nothing to play. Oh, that's... I bet I know what that is. I don't want to do a clean... I bet it has something to do with memory allocation. Huh, that's interesting. And then it blows up, seg fault, because of, okay, free heap, yeah. Okay, so I think what's going on, I do not want to do a full clean. But we'll see. Yeah, yesterday we figured out how to find Easter. We're looking for days of the holidays, so we can put in, fun little doodads or change the music around. And most of them are pretty simple. November's a little tricky. It has to be a Thursday, and it has to be the fourth Thursday. So, divide by 7, check a range, not too hard. Easter, man, it's crazy. Blew my mind that there was even an algorithm for it like this. It's all integer arithmetic too. It's blows my mind somebody figured all that out. I was just going to look up a list of Easter over the next 100 years and just hard code of dates in a static list, but turns out there's an algorithm for that. Okay, now it's not crashing. Music's not playing because we don't have a playlist loaded in each scene, and that's great. Okay, so let's quit. Main menu, initialize elements, underscore music player dot use playlist from music library get playlist. Get playlist. In case we ever do anything else in the future, music library asset. We're going to do the synthwave for main menu. Game scene init elements. We can do, I don't know, epic. Let's do piano. Actually, no. It's game context. No. Underscore play mode. There we go. Switch our play mode. We'll play different music depending on what play mode we're loading in. Pace, marathon, pace, sprint. What am I doing? We already have a macro recorded for that. So in marathon mode, piano is fun. Maybe golf gets piano. Maybe marathon gets epic. And sprint can have rock. Practice, I don't know. Whatever. It kind of doesn't matter. We're just going to see how that works. Invalid conversion. Oh. Okay. Our music library. I do need to actually do things to the playlist. So it cannot be const. Which is fine. Application layer. We also forgot to initialize our music library. Init. Music library init. Easy peasy. Ugh. Really? Oh. It is. We just didn't put it in the header. There we go. Yeah, so as a game developer, do you have like your own list of like game ideas that you want to develop? Because I've got documents full of ideas. Some of them I've fleshed out, some of them I've prototyped. Some of them are like computer games, board games. I've got a little bit of everything. Or you just so done working on games at the end of the day that you don't want to. I know you build a game engine on your own time, but it's not the same as a game. I was explaining to somebody else that games are fun, but like computer programming is like its own game, its own level. So Synthwave should be playing. Oh. Okay, one thing we forgot to do. Do update. MusicPlayer needs to do its own update. So I've worked at places where I was like, oh, this is kind of a cool project, but at the end of working on it for like a year or two, I'm just like, you know what? I never want to see that again. Get burned out on it. But also, you get the most interesting and creative ideas when you're like deeply immersed in something for a long time. It's like, I imagine better game ideas happen because you're working on games. Okay, so that playlist came up. Let's go marathon mode. That's not smooth, we'll have to fix that. We start with Epic. Okay, sprint mode. About 0.6 milliseconds. So our music isn't really killing our performance that much. $63, $65. Okay. Those. Okay, golf. We get our music. Okay. So that is most of what we wanted to do today. So we have per-scene playlists, which are possible and easy. Okay, notes. Fixed shuffle, sum off by 1 errors, introduced due to copy paste from pseudocode that was unclear about exclusion inclusion of range ends. Scene now has a music player, music library contains playlists, main menu, and main scene. Play different playlists. Main scene selects playlist based on game mode. So yeah, we deleted that, that's fine. Everything else, we've changed application, game scene, main menu, scene, make file, music player. It's just playlist, sandbox scene. Yeah, that all looks normal, although, okay. Music player now in base scene. Use music library to get playlists. All right. Not bad. We're only an hour and a half in, halfway done with our list of things to do today. Music is very faint on this end. Yeah, I didn't really have it up that loud. No real game ideas yet that are simple enough to do alone. Yeah, that is true. So, exactly. The scope and scale of things you can do is mind-boggling. Like, yeah, I picked this game to copy from like an 1990s game because it was simple. Can I do something more complicated? Yes. Do I need to make money sometime before I've completed 10 years of my life? Yeah. Yeah, start small and simple. That's what I'm doing. It's not the most interesting game. Like, this is not the project, my dream project at all. I think my dream project may be the third project I tackle. But I'm mostly looking at things like either top-down isometric view or like 2D side scrollers. By the time you hit 3D, like the size of team you need to make it good starts getting more difficult, even with an engine. Well, with an engine, it takes a lot of the load off. But I also just want to know what happens underneath. I want to build it myself and see if I arrive at the same conclusions that a game engine does. Well, even the big ones, though. I mean, writing down in a text document, right? It costs nothing to write down the impossible games, too. Music is very faint on this end. Okay. We can crank up the music. That's not a problem. Let's do the holiday playlist overrides. After I refresh my gum here, since we're already in sort of this area. So we go to main menu. If if it's a holiday Christmas, and then switch. I thought I had a Halloween lined up. Let's see here. Christmas and Halloween. Clean that up in a minute. Christmas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 songs in it. Halloween, 1, 2, 3. 3 songs in that. Okay. Can I be clever enough to not screw this up? Let's see, semicolon. Add entry. Sound warehouse. Asset. Carol the bells. Clean that up. Just change our macro a little bit. And boom, 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 boom. There we go. We have new playlists. Christmas and Halloween. Select the main menu. I'm going to copy this into game scene as well. Just because we can. So like I said, one of the things we might want to do is join them. Like, so maybe we say if it's a holiday, queue up this playlist, and if we're in this mode, also queue up this playlist. Might make for some totally inconsistent stuff while we're in game, but it might be useful. I don't know. Okay. So what we should hear are no differences. Everything should be the same. Yeah, I got a 60 to 80 pages of design documents. There's stuff written. Oh. But I love looking at other people's design docs or hear their ideas. I like bouncing it off them and being like, well, what if you did this? Would this make it more possible? What about this? Would it make it harder? That's such fun. So much fun. The brainstorming is like the best part. Bring your design docs, even if it's just like a bullet list of 6 things, and just start shooting. It's so fun. But 60 to 80 means you've put some actual thought into it, quite a bit. All right, let's turn this music up. So that should be a little louder. If we play, we go into golf. Again, it should just go straight to the piano list. Okay, but that's not a holiday. Let me change my system clock. Adjust date time. We're going to force our date time to be Where is it? I don't want to sync. Wow, Windows. Really? I want my own. Set the date and time. There we go. Wow. Okay, so you have to go through 3 windows. And let's change our date and time. We're going to October 31st. Now, when we go to play, we should get our Halloween list. Since it loads the playlist on song loaded. Holiday is none. October 31st, we check for that. How dare it? None? If it's none, then where's my piano music? If we go back to main menu. Holiday is none. We check for October 31st. October 31st, result equals Halloween. That says October 31st. How is that none? Let's try changing it to Christmas then. December 25th. Okay. It says the holiday is none. I'm not happy with that. It's lying to me. Scene, load in. Holiday equals global get holiday. Month, day, year, current holiday. How can that be none? If month equals October, and the day equals 31, it should be Halloween. December 25th should be Christmas. We didn't clear that static, did we? No. Holiday is just part of the scene. On load in, we automatically compute the holiday. What's going on? Okay. How can we be in a world where we print out December 25th and the holiday is nothing? Oh, current holiday. Result. Okay, problem the first. Current holiday goes away. So that should help. Okay. Even if it's none, though, the default case should fall through to pick a normal playlist. Does this do anything? This is taking a while. That took way too long. Okay, let's run it. It should think it's Christmas. It's not playing songs. Scene is initialized first, so we should have holiday before we ever get here. Switch holiday, Chris. Oh. Okay. Oops. I didn't put in the actual songs. Good heavens. Alright, game scene. No wonder it was playing silently absolutely nothing. Oh, Christmas, Halloween. Okay, Christmas. Here we go. If this ever finishes building. I have a task item to reduce the size and compile time and embedded binary code. But that will have to wait. There we go. It thinks it's Christmas. So now I'm going to change it to Halloween, which will have no effect until we change the scene. And we go to a Halloween. Okay. If we change it back to today, date and time, there, adjust date time, sync now. So we're back to November 7th. When we go back to the main menu, it should be back to the synthwave. And then sprint mode should be our little happy rock. Okay. I think that's that. Every scene can load based on holiday and the scene individually, so good to go. Nice. Main menu and main scene can now load holiday playlists, currently Christmas and Halloween. Otherwise, the defaults. I did Christmas and Halloween playlists to main menu and game scene. Boom, easy. Okay. When leaving a scene, fade the song out quickly and don't end the scene until it's done. We don't want a hard cutoff. We want everything to transition smoothly. And it's almost 2 o'clock. I gotta bounce at 3 for dentist. So we've got plenty of time for this. We're looking good. Okay. We need leaving scene. Leave time. We'll call it a second for now. We can change it later. So this happens before show FPS labeled. By default, you're not leaving the scene. Maybe we don't call it that. Ending music. Okay, so what we're going to do. My plan for now is to get the engine in a state that I feel comfortable sharing it with others, so I need a couple more features and polish. Honestly, your engine's looking pretty good. What's left on your big ticket items? And don't underestimate polish. I've been polishing this game for a couple of months now. Like I always say, I'm 90% of the way done. All that remains is the last 90%. Yeah, what are the big features left? Data graph, yeah, you've been working on that. Want to get some sort of shadows into it. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. Shadows are legit hard. Node graphs, which are for gameplay like blueprints. Okay. Underlying the blueprints, are you having an actual scripting language or a virtual machine, or what are you doing underneath the node graphs? C++. Okay. Okay. And then like a plugin architecture for implementing new features and functionality. Good, done. All nodes are pure C++, so it's quite fast. Yeah. Cool, cool. Okay. Your game is 3D, mostly realistic rendering. You got your physics-based rendering. You got your crazy cool sky algorithm you were showing me the other time. So you're looking for pretty high fidelity kind of games. Shadows are tricky. Mm-hmm. Okay. Looking if it's convenient for inner. Ending the music equals true. Is music done? Yeah, the game I want to do with is too big, is 3D. I have an idea to do a smaller scope with similar gameplay mechanics. Okay. But let's see. Yeah, yeah. Oh, now I want to know about your game. I'm always fascinated by people's projects. Open world shooter, or more like a parkour speed thing, or like a stealthing systems. It's complicated, you say. So probably nothing too crazy. Like Hitman. Hitman's not exactly trivial. So if yours is, well, I guess you said it's too complex for one developer. Anyway, I just love creativity. I like watching good artists drawing time lapse or seeing a project go from a scribbled idea on the back of a napkin all the way to finished product. Is so cool, especially the early stages. Everything's just blue skies. Initial design ideas, an MMO RPG with elements of city building. Okay, okay. I was just watching a small, so about RPGs, like tabletop RPGs. Um, the newest D&D version, I don't even know what they're calling it anymore. D&D 1 2024 version 6 5.5, who knows. It added the idea of bastions to the system where you get to build up your own castle basically. And that was interesting. But then I was watching another guy talk about it. He's like, well, this other system does it better. and it talked about what makes this system's bastion building systems much more engaging and thematic and evocative than D&D's paint by numbers kind of thing. So I wonder, maybe I can dig up that just to give you ideas about, like, I know bastion isn't the same as city building, but let me think here. And again, it's a RPG, tabletop RPG, not video game RPG, but often systems are kind of a good starting place to look across different systems. Let me look this up. Where is it? Videos. Maybe it was a stream instead of a video. Axe. Axe does bastions better than D&D. Here, let me throw this at you. So like I said, caveats. Obviously, tabletop RPGs aren't MMORPGs. But I think for the theming and how he makes it more ingrained into the system itself is interesting. MMORPG with elements of city building. Yeah, no problem. So many cool projects to work on. So MMORPG, are you thinking like futuristic sci-fi, old school fantasy, your own setting? You have a 60 or 80 page document, so I assume you've done some setting work as well. Theming is cool. It can decide a lot of design decisions for you. Return. Ending music is true, and neither sound is playing. Okay, so the last thing to do is in update. There it is. Music player update. Fantasy medieval, maybe like Final Fantasy VII, a bit of steampunk. Yep. I think it's easy to add a bit of steampunk so that you get like it makes a lot of things possible without having too much technology. And honestly, steam power, as long as you have magic to fuel the steam generation, is not bad. Plus the aesthetics. I mean, who doesn't like, brass on leather on wood? It's nice to have that little splash in there. You mix it in with maybe some, well, I mean, the typical is the gnomish inventors, right? They always get a bit of a steampunk flair, but Final Fantasy VII, I don't think they had gnomes. But yeah, sounds cool. Oh, I love people's projects. I love my own projects. Just there's so many projects. So my third game. So this one's like the build a bunch of tools, figure out what I like and what I don't like, get a little experience, go through the whole game development process, end to end, publish it. The second one will be basically a refinement on this one. It's gonna be a different game, still quite simple, something I can crank out pretty quickly and just refine everything I've learned in this first one. The third one is where I start doing my own designs. I'm thinking a color-based puzzle precision platformer, where in the early stages of the game you become colorblind, so everything is black and white. But then you can use a little bit of magic to see one of the basic primary or secondary colors, right? And that's where all the puzzles come in. so many ideas. Like, yeah, I've got like a big document full of stuff. Ending music. Do I want to hold timer just for that? Let's just do it with a timer. Let's not get too crazy here. Timer, egg timer. We have an egg timer. Egg timer, M underscore end music. This is not a huge lift, so. Set single shot. True. And music timer set duration to, not this one. Sounds interesting. Yeah, I think that's just my first game idea I want to tackle. I think it still keeps things simple enough while opening up the creativity realm for me. So you can do different things with, visuals, with what's enabled, what's not enabled, what behaviors change, timing, overlays, lots of things. Let's just hack this in update. If music or sound one is playing. Do I have an animation in here? I do. Interpolate m underscore end music timer dot t. I'm pretty sure egg timer has a t parameter for me. It does. And it's interpolate from t from start to end. So from volume 1 to 0. Sound 2, rotate the sound 2 volume. And then, oh wait. M underscore end set callback. M1 is playing. M1 dot stop. Okay, let's see how that goes. Although I don't have a 60 or 80 page design doc, that's very, very detailed. All we have to do, AK, is get filthy rich and start our own game companies and hire all the artists and programmers we need to see our vision made, right? How do you get there, though? That's the mystery. I don't think it's by streaming programming, though. Not that I've seen, anyways. But it sure is fun. Sound one. Oh, I'm not inside the music player. I need a place to do this. Override volume. T. Just muscle this in here. I don't have a ton of time to get too creative. Did I not grab that? Let's see here. Where is it? Scene. Does MusicPlayer have animation? It does. Okay, then we're good. Stop. Thought that was funny. Okay. MusicPlayer scene. For any music, then underscore MusicPlayer dot override volume T. underscore egg timer dot is not running, basically. And the timer fires off. We're done. Oh, not egg timer. End music timer. Oh. Okay. Gotta go to bed. Good luck, and not sure what to say about a dentist appointment. Hope all is good. Oh, sure, it's fine. Regular checkup, but thanks. Not sure what you say for that. Yeah, yeah. Hard to know. Hard to know. You have a good evening. Hope you have good luck with your game engine. I would like to see it released out to people. That's always cool. Catch you later. Okay. So right now, we've added that functionality, but it's not used in the scenes when they're shutting down. So it's just going to end hard, like we expect. Perfect. Okay. Main menu scene. Button quick. Go to scene. Oh my. Okay, go to scene. If we're using animations, we do things one way. Otherwise, we do this. We have a do until, which makes sure the sounds are done. Okay, so fade in out is a fade sequence. Wait until the fade sequence is done. So this whole fade in out thing, is there like an immediate near the top of it? Action sequence, play animation. Play animation. Or stop the music. I have to wait for the sequence. Waiting or running. If things are playing, we're not get this music done. Let's just try it. Does main menu music fade out? So it fades in. That works pretty good, actually. Main menu doesn't have that yet. So it's going to end hard. Surrender or back. Clicked. Animate, scene, exit. All right, we have a sequence where we wait till all sounds are done. Finish the level, the table, the bookshelf. Oh, interesting. Do we want the music to stop between words and then restart? I'm not sure how I feel about that. Table, the bookshelf, the chalkboard. Okay. We wait. Table, wait. Bookshelf, wait. Oh, I see. I think I see. Transition wait time. Chalkboard. Play animation. And then wait. Immediately reload the scene. Okay. So this wait is the one that matters. All sounds are done and scheduler is idle. And is music done? So somewhere where's my sequence? It's this one. You get 11th step. Sequence point to set immediately at our action index. This thing stop music. Okay, so it's going to go through the end of level nonsense and wait till all that's done. Then it will start the stop music, animate things out, and it will wait until the end of the level before cranking on. Okay, that may just fix it all for main menu. That's only if animations are on. It's one of the reasons I'm seriously debating the release build not having the option to turn animations off. Okay, main menu, fades in, fades out. Okay. Yeah, seems good. I think we did it. Fade out music when leaving scene. The trick is in scene, stop music, and scene. Not stop music. Is music done? That's it. Now, again, this has nothing to do with when animations are off. Then it will just kill the sound hard. That's kind of expected when animations are off. So I think we're good. Get status. Get add everything. Get commit. Music fades out when leaving main menu and game scene. Cool, cool. We finished our list for the day. I didn't know if we would. Music playing is done until we get the final music. Oh, thank goodness. ImageWarehouse should report size, not just width and height. Yeah, about that. Scheduler could also have a pool of sounds to grab as needed. We need to trim the sounds. Okay. La la la. Yeah. Not too shabby. Let's see anything too crazy I need to deal with. I got a half an hour. What am I gonna do for half an hour? We need a word sleuth logo. Maybe that's what we do. In the letter W in our chalky font. Is that all I'm going to do? Put a letter S on it. Put a magnifying glass around it. Image warehouse. Final word decisions. Doodads. We're going to work on for half an hour. What's a good half-hour task? Right. I'm going to pause briefly for a restroom break. I'll be back in a jiffy. Okay. Hmm. Half an hour. Two ideas. One, we start playing with the logo. Two, we start adding a sound pool to the scheduler. Three, ImageWarehouse needs to report the size as well. The size is not the same thing as width times height in the case when we start compressing the image to the data. All right, let's do this one. Okay, so we do set our size. Sizes. Its size. Sizes. Get UV size. Doesn't matter. Output entry sizes. Widths. There we go. That size one is a little bit interesting though. That's UV data. Okay. When we output it, we do record our temp size. Right here. And this size, well, this is where we'll insert our compression. Right? We're not going to output this data. We're going to transform that data into something new and we'll get the different size then. Which will give us a different size altogether. That's basically it. There we go. Stray. There we go. Tools bin embed PNGs. Okay. Looks good. Now, in theory, now, sound with ImageWarehouse. Get size. Tiny debug. So we're going to try and leave the sound warehouse alone. In theory, these sizes reported 41.12 megabytes. 460 is the same thing we get when we run now. It should be. That's the theory anyway. Okay. If this works, we shall be quite happy. But then we'll still have 20 minutes left. So let's see. 2.460. 41,812. Yeah. This is better. The other thing we're going to do is until we get the final music in, I'm not going to do this anymore. Game scene. Done. All right. So I'm not really using this music at all. It's just placeholder music, so there's no point in playing it. Oh. Okay. Thing breaks. Let me turn off the music. The size of images is being recorded correctly, and that's it. Nice. Okay. Boom. So that was nice and easy. ImageWarehouse. And now report per image sizes, where size is the bytes written to the data array. This will vary from the width times height times 4 once we do image compression. This lays the groundwork for that change. Some groundwork. This is not all the groundwork. Warehouse can now report image sizes. Okay, well, we've got 15 minutes left. Knock something else off the list. With 15 minutes, I now do not want to work on this one. I don't think we get anything done of significance. Maybe work on this one a little bit. Start the logo for the game. Right now we're just using my streamer logo, which it's not the game logo. Sausage deep dish pizza eaten. Oh, nice. What do you got to go do in 15 minutes? I got to go to the dentist. Just the usual cleanup. So it shouldn't be anything too terrible this time around. That pizza does sound really good, though. I'm jealous. Totes jelly, as the kids say these days. All right, we need a logo for our game. Let's go 512 by 512. Nice big logo, right? With a transparency color. Okay, new layer. Background. Oops. Circle. I should share the screen though. That would make a lot more sense. Boom. I gotta hit a dentist for a penny eventually. Yep. It's better just to stay on top of it, right? That's kind of the theory. Two. 508, 508. Fuck it. We want something dark but not quite black, right? Okay, new layer. We want a ring. What are we gonna do? No, we'll just use the ellipse tool. It'll be fine. 32, 32, 256 minus 64. Oh, we're at 512. 512 minus 64. $448. There we are. There we go. Paintbrush grunge size. We've got 30 pixels to play with. 24. What would you mean that other color, that off-white color? Maybe a little bigger. 24. What the heck? Let's go 32. Yeah, no, that's probably fine. Okay, that's a ring. New layer. Oh, we don't need a new layer. What we need is text. I don't have the eraser text installed on my computer. All right, let me go add that real quick. Oh, although I'm not sure if it's about what's installed on the computer. GIMP saves it in a different place, doesn't it? We'll take a look. Actually, EFGH, so like a something like that. We go up to 320 pixels. W. No. No. Let's see here. I think I just need to install Eraser. Okay. I have interesting teeth genetics. Plaque doesn't really stick to my enamel. Nice. I can scrape it off fairly easily. Cool. Last time I went to the dentist, she said she'd never seen plaque come off of tooth enamel so easily. Nice. I was like, yeah, because I drink nothing but water. But who knows? Well, yeah. Who knows? I've known people with way better, like, dental hygiene, like obsessive about it. They got more cavities than I did. I just have hard enamel. But nobody's ever complimented me on my ability to shed plaque. So there you go. Like my mom, I think she had really soft enamel. She took good care of her teeth, but it just didn't matter. She didn't even eat that much sugar. Just it just did not matter. Kind of got the lottery or when it comes to genetics on some things. Okay, so where did I put that phone? Go find my phone. Active projects. Word sleuth. Not tools. Assets. Fonts. Eraser. Install. Okay. We're gonna save this. Let's see here. Active projects. Word sleuth. Assets. Images. Logo. Okay, we got to reload GIMP, I think. And even then, I think GIMP has its own fonts. Maybe not system fonts. So let's see here. Open recent logo. Good. Text. What did that? Eraser. Medium. So as a logo, that's not bad. We're gonna duplicate. I'm gonna hide one of them. This one. Duplicate. Merge down so it loses its text. Filters. If we just give it a little bit of a blur, like a Gaussian blur on that layer, does that help? At smaller sizes, kind of. Or do we try to fit word and sleuth? Oh, something in my eye. Word sleuth. 180. 225. Hmm. Oops. Active layer. We can make it smaller and actually put it all in there. Maybe like 50 points. Word sleuth. Center. Center. Good heavens. Maybe something like that. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, here we go. We can change just one letter. Hmm. Small font. So we're at 1/8 size at 512 pixels. What's 1/8 of 512? It's like 40, 50 pixels. 512 over 8. 64 pixels. So if I had a 64 pixel logo, it would look like that, which is readable. That would be 32. All right, let's just save it. Let's export as logo, PNG. Just a moment. All right. We've done it. We've saved it. We exported it, I think. Okay. We're going to be done with that. Where do we put the, let's see here, DOH. The dough. There we are. Logo. And logo. There we go. Doe.png. Exclude der depths. Global. There it is. Now we put it in there. Now instead of the dough, just put logo. All right, we're gonna rebuild the image warehouse. Oh, we didn't re-embed our data. Shoot. What? There we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, 3 o'clock. All right. If this works, then we're done for the day. Kind of depends on how readable it is. That'll be good to not have that orange hex all over the screen. Oh. How about our resources aren't up to date, though? Well, we'll check. We can look at that while we're checking. Source builds debug. Okay, so that's not up to date. But our window image is up. And that's not very easy to see. Actually, well, you can't see it because the window title bar is never shown. That is tiny. If we just go back to the plain old W. That's not the worst thing, I guess. But we'll have to do that tomorrow. All right. Ladies and gents, I've got to get going. So thanks for dropping in. Thanks for the chats. Thanks for joining me on this fun little project. And we'll catch you tomorrow for compiler day. Have a good one. Bye-bye.